Hello everyone. In this video, we would like to do some presentations about an analysis of regular and irregular verbs in students' essay writing. Before that, we would like to introduce ourselves. With myself, my name is Kadek Dirga Mustiasa with MPM 0005.
And me, Gede Wily Arta Yasa. You can call me Wily with NPM 0004.
And I would like to start the presentations. Tense is any form of the verbs that may be used to show the time of the act, an event, or state is expressed by the verb. Josie 2014. There are three kinds of tenses. First is past tense, second is present tense, and third is future tense. In simple past tense or verbal, the second form of verb or verb to is divided into two types, namely regular verb and irregular verb. K et al. 2008 state that a simple past is formed by changing regular verbs and irregular verbs. Regular verbs are verbs that can change according to tense and change it regularly. Regular verbs are verbs whose change comply with normal rules, that is, which add the letter D or ed to the verb's first form or verb one or infinitive, so that it becomes a verb form seconds or verb two or past tense. While irregular verbs are verbs that change according to the tense and do not comply with normal compliance. The past tense irregular verbs are not formed from basic verbs or verb ones or infinitives, plus letter D or ed letters to form verb two or past tense. Based on the explanation above, the researcher want to research regular and irregular verbs. The objective of the study is to know the use of regular and irregular verb in the students writing an essay and to know the most dominant verb past written by the students in their students writing an essay. And next, the method. The research is contrast with quantitative research, places more emphasis on the study of phenomena from the perspective of insiders. Lapan et al. 2011. Data used in this research is the form of verb to, both regular and irregular verb, while the source data is in this research is the students' writing compositions. There are three steps in analysis data. There are data reductions, data display, and conclusion, drawing or verifications. Gratons and Jones, 2004. And next is findings and discussions. This is the first example of students' essay writing. In these essays, show that the student used a regular and irregular verb in her or his writing. The regular verbs are closed, gathered, started, arrived, continued, visit, and cook. Those verbs follow the spelling rules of the word with the ending e is added by d. For example, the verb one is closed, then changed to verb two into closed. The common regular verbs is added by ed. For example, the verb one is gather, then changed to verb two into gathered. And the verb one is start, then changed to verb two into started. While the irregular verbs are bought, took, ate, and went. Those verbs show an irregular pattern. For example, the verb to bought, then the verb one is buy. The verb two is took, then the verb one is take, and etc. And this is the second example of students' essay writing. In the essay above, show that the students use regular and irregular verbs in her or his writing. The regular verbs are used: traveled, arrived, parked, walked, waited, and returned. Those verbs follow the spelling rules of the word with the ending E is added by D. For example, the verb 1 is used, changed to verb 2 used, and etc. The common regular verbs is added by ed. For example, the verb 1 is park, changed to verb 2 into park. While the irregular verbs are went, left, got, had, bought, came, and were. Those verbs show an irregular pattern. For example, verb 1 is go, changed into verb 2 into went. The verb 1 is get, changed into verb 2 into got, and etc. And this is the third example of students' essay writing. In these essays, show that the student used the regular and irregular verbs in her or his writing. The regular verbs are decided, liked, arrived, depart, and invited. Those verbs follow the spelling rules of the word with the ending E is added by D. For example, the verb 1 is decide, changed to verb 2 into decided, and the verb 1 is like, then changed to verb 2 into liked, and etc. While the irregular verbs are was, dote, made, built, and brought. Those verbs show an irregular pattern. The verb 1 is changed to the verb 2 into was. The verb 1 is changed to the verb 2 into do. And the next example will explained by my friends, Wily. Time is yours.
All right. Thank you, Dirga, for the time that you've given to me. And I would like to continue the presentation with the third example of students' writing. Look at the essay above. The essay above that the student used regular and irregular verb in his or her writing. The regular verbs are planned, stopped, decided, departed, rested, needed, reigned, arrived, continued, enjoyed, reached, rested, and cleaned. The rule of the regular verb that the verb with one syllable, a single vowel, and with ending in a single consonant. So the verb to must be double consonant with adding ed. For example, verb 1 is plan, so verb 2 change to plan. The verb 1 is stop, change to verb 2 into stopping. The common regular verb is added by ed. For example, the verb 1 is depart, change to verb 2 into departed. The verb 1 is rest, then change to verb 2 into rested. While the irregular verb are was, went, began, left, saw, took, went, built, and code. Those verbs show an irregular pattern. For example, the verb 1 is changed to verb 2 into was, and the verb 1 is go, then changed into verb 2 into when. The verb 1 is begin, changed to verb 2 into began. Next, please. All right, let's move to the fifth example of students' writing. The essay above show that the student used a regular and irregular verb in her or his writing. The regular verbs are stop, forced, arrived. The rule of the regular verb that the verb with one syllable, a single vowel, and with ending in a single consonant. So the verb to must be double consonant with adding ed. For example, verb 1 is plan, so verb 2 change to plan. The verb 1 is stop, then change to verb 2 into stop it. Some verbs also follow the spelling rules of the word with the ending e is added by d. For example, the verb 1 is force, change to verb 2 into forced, and the verb 1 is arrive, then change to verb 2 into arrival. While the irregular verbs are when, was, began, saw, said, caught, and ate. Those verbs show an irregular pattern. For example, the verb 1 is go, change to verb 2 into when. The verb 1 is, change to verb 2 into was. The verb 1 is begin, change to verb 2 into began. Next. All right, and based on the analysis of the student English writing composition, it found that the student used both regular and irregular verbs in writing an essay of the simple past tense of recount text. The table analysis is stated below. All right, based on the table above that show the student use both regular and irregular verb or past in their student writing essay. Both of regular and irregular verb are 312 data in verb 2 or past. In the regular verb, there are 142 data or 45.51%. And in the irregular verb, there are 170 data or 54.49%. It shows that the most dominant verb past written by the student in their student writing an essay is an irregular verb. Next, please. All right, we move to the conclusion. Related to the using of the regular and irregular verb in 14 student writing an essay, it shows that the student use both regular and irregular verb or past in their student writing an essay. Both regular and irregular verb are 312 data in verb 2 or past. And in the regular verb, there are 142 data or 45.51%. And in the irregular verb, there are 170 or 54.49%. It shows that the most dominant verb past written by the student in their student writing essay is an irregular verb. Regular verbs are verbs that can change according to tense and change it regularly. Regular verbs are verbs whose change comply with normal rules. That is, with added the letter D or ed to the verb first form or verb 1 and or infinitive, so that it becomes a verb from second, or verb 2, or past tense. And then irregular verbs are verbs that change according to the tense and do not comply with normal compliance. The past tense irregular verbs are not formed from basic verb. Verb 1 or infinitives plus letter D or AD. Letters 2 from verb 2 or past tense. Irregular verb from their past tense differently, although not always through a vowel and consonant change, so that this form must be memorized by the learners or students. Alright guys, thank you for the opportunities that given to us. And at last, I'm Willy and my friends.
I'm Dirga.
And we would like to say goodbye and see you guys.
Thank you guys. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.
Like, comment.
Thank you.